Students of English literature, today we are going to study The Merchant of Venice, that is composed by William Shakespeare. Student, in this lecture 1 English version lecture, we are going to study the storyline of this famous play The Merchant of Venice. After this lecture, in other various lectures, students, you will come to know about the theme, about the characters, about the critical appreciation, about the title, and on other aspects of questions. But today, let's begin the storyline of this famous play, The Merchant of Venice. Students, it is called a tragicomedy. Let's begin the storyline. This is divided in 7 parts. First, the exposition. Second, the test of fortune. Third, the Bond story. Fourth, Jessica's deceit. Fifth, the choice of cascades. And sixth, the trial scene. And the seventh, happy ending. Students, now let's begin with point number 1, the exposition. Whatever is spoken by me, students, you will have to listen peacefully, because there is no need to see the speaker, I mean me myself. Now you listen carefully with closed eyes and come to know the points of the story. First is the exposition. The play commences on a street in Venice. Means the poet opens in the street of Venice. Shakespeare introduces the central character of the play, Antonio, as a merchant of power and influence. Bassanio, his friend, confesses to him that he is in love with Portia, a rich heiress of Belmont. In order to present himself as an eligible suitor to Portia, he seeks a loan from Antonio. Antonio has no money in hand to lend, as his fortunes are tied up with his ships at sea. However, he promises to help Bassanio to take a loan from moneylenders using his Antonio's name. In this way, students, your story begins. Now there is a turn in the story, a test of fortune. A test of fortune means there is an examination in Portia's life given by situation, and she doesn't know what her future will be. At Belmont, Portia narrates to Nerissa, her maid, her hardships. She is being put to under the obligation of her father's will. His will commands that Portia will marry the man who will choose from amongst the 3 caskets of gold, silver, and lead. The one which contains her portrait. Portia is relieved that none of her suitors have been lucky enough to choose the right caskets, as has no liking for any of them. In point number 3, the Bond story. This is the third point of this whole story, the play Merchant of Venice, that gives many situations, different situations in the play, the Bond story. Meanwhile, in the Venice, Bassanio has found a Jewish moneylender named Shylock who can lend the money he needs. Shylock hates Antonio because he is a bitter friend of Antonio. He is also bitter because of the insults done by Antonio, his race, and he is hated by Antonio too. However, Shylock agrees to lend Bassanio the money, and he agrees to give him 3,000 ducats on the unusual bond, which stipulates that if Antonio fails to pay the money on time, he will cut a pound of flesh from his body from anywhere according to his wish. Despite Bassanio's request not to accept the bond, Antonio agrees to the bond, as he is confident that his ships would return much before the due date of payment of loan. Students, now point number 4, Jessica's deceit. Jessica's deceit. Back at Belmont, Portia's suitors get on her nerves. They include a pompous Moroccan prince and the Prince of Aragon, who try in vain to win her. In Venice, a romantic subplot develops when Shylock's daughter Jessica falls in love with Lorenzo, a close friend of Antonio and Bassanio, Lorenzo elopes with Jessica from there, and they go to Bassanio. In this way, this story takes a new turn. Lorenzo, a close friend of Antonio and Bassanio, Lorenzo elopes with Jessica by disguising her as a boy. While eloping, Jessica steals her father's money and jewels. Shylock becomes furious at the daughter's betrayal and loss of money. He is consoled somewhat on hearing Antonio has lost all his ships, and this information is conveyed to him by his servant and Salario and Salarino in marketplace. His hatred grew again, and he claims his bond. He finds that it is a great opportunity to tease Antonio bitterly. Students, in the next point, the choice of cascades. When Bassanio reaches Belmont, he tries his luck at the lottery of his cascades to win Portia. Portia tries to persuade Bassanio to stay at Belmont for a few days before making his choice. She could enjoy his company. Portia thinks so. Bassanio, on his part, cannot endure the uncertainty of the lottery and wants to try his luck as soon as possible. Because Bassanio is a man of impatience, he wants to try his luck as soon as possible. Portia is overwhelmed with the joy with Bassanio. When Bassanio chooses the lead casket and finds her portrait inside. I mean to say, Bassanio gets successful in finding Portia's portrait according to the conditions of the cascades. According to the choosing of cascades. On the basis of this right choice, Portia consents to accept Bassanio as her husband. Nerissa and Gratiano also announces their engagement at the time. Both Portia and Nerissa give rings to Bassanio and Gratiano respectively as a token of her betrothal and make them take a vow never to part with the rings. Salario arrives with a message from Antonio that all his ships are wrecked. All that Antonio wishes now is to see Bassanio before he meets his bond obligations. On knowing the fact that Portia tells Bassanio that he can have any amount of money to save Antonio, and Antonio sends him to Venice. Portia conceives of a plan to save Antonio, and he sends his servant to his cousin, to Dr. Bellerio. She receives the instructions as well as the lawyer's dress from Bellerio. Portia and Nerissa, dressed as men, set out for Venice to fight in Antonio's legal case. They made a plan to save Antonio in disguise. Now there is trial scene. In trial scene, Antonio begins at Duke's court. Portia, disguised as a young lawyer, arrives to defend Antonio. Bassanio is unable to recognize as Portia is in disguise. She makes an eloquent speech requesting Shylock to show mercy to Antonio, but Shylock is adamant to have his bond. At this moment, Portia, showing her intelligence, tells the Jew that according to the terms of the bond, he is entitled to cut off only a pound of flesh from Antonio's body without shedding a single drop of his blood. She warns Shylock that if she sheds a drop of Antonio's blood, all his wealth and lands will be confiscated. Shylock realizes that he cannot have his pound of flesh and shows his willingness to accept the original loan amount, but Portia insists Shylock that he only can have merely justice and his bond. She accuses him of an attempt to take the life of a Venetian citizen. Shylock's life is saved by Duke on the condition that he becomes a Christian and leaves his assets after his death to his daughter Jessica. Students, now the condition of Shylock has become very pathetic. Jessica and his son-in-law Lorenzo It means all his property will be taken by the court and it will be seized. Shylock's desire for revenge reconciles him and he has to lose his property. His daughter and his religion is going to be snatched. Antonio's life is saved by the ingenuity of the lawyer, by the wits of the lawyer Portia. So out of gratitude, Bassanio and Gratiano give away their rings to the lawyer as fees, and his clerk Nerissa, though quite unwillingly, although they do not want to give their rings to anybody, but the charge of saving Antonio was so much that both the lawyer and his assistant deserve this. Now there is a happy ending that makes this play a comedy. Portia and Nerissa reaches home at Belmont just before their husbands arrive. Finding their rings missing, the ladies feign annoyance and scold their husbands for parting with their rings. They scold them too much. After a lot of fun and teasing, Portia unfolds the whole mystery that she herself was the lawyer and the Nerissa was her clerk. Students, in this way, everything gets solved. She further brings the good news that Antonio's ships have returned at the harbor carrying rich cargo. Lorenzo and Jessica are presented with Shylock's deed of gift signed and sealed in accordance with the court's decision. Thus the play ends on a happy note with the triumph of loyalty, prevalence of romance and defeat of greed and hatred. A student, in this way, this play ends with happy ending. Students, I hope you will understand all these points clearly. And there is a Hindi version too. So please keep on watching to get yourself updated with your other parts of this play, The Merchant of Venice. Students, in next lectures we will come to know about the theme of the play. Please subscribe my channel RSC Classes of English Language. Thanks.